Welcome to the Morgan Branding Podcast. Welcome to episode 19. In this episode, we wanted to talk about how you should do your marketing. So I believe this advice would stick well from a one-man band, sole trader type business to small companies, 5-10 staff, all the way up to the biggest companies. I think they should look at this. Do you do your marketing yourself? Do you have an in-house team? If you're a sole trader, do you allocate a certain amount of time yourself each week and each day to marketing? Do you get in freelancers, whether they be local freelancers, UK-based freelancers or offshore freelancers, or do you use agencies? So I think there's no one-size-fits-all with this. This is why I think businesses should keep looking at how they do things. The first option of do it yourself, I believe from a one-man band up to huge companies should always have an element of doing it yourself. Whether that's you're a sole trader and you're a plumber and you do some of your social posting or look after or update your website or write a blog or do some of your leafleting or flyering in the street, I think you should do that because you will get a feel a lot better for what's working and what's not working. If something's working, suddenly you'll find you happily dedicate a lot of time and effort to it. If you're a window cleaner and you flyer 3 streets and get 6 inquiries off the back of that and 3 jobs, well, it's likely that you're going to go flying again. You're going to go flyering that street again because you're happy with the results. If you outsource that to another company, you don't necessarily know deep down, did it work? Did they deliver to all the doors? Was it luck or, why did it happen? So I think you should get in the trenches and do some of it yourself. Now, there's a line there between you've got to spend time actually earning money and running your business. So you may then look at outsourcing some elements of that. Now, do you get a freelancer in, another member of staff, or somebody who just does it ad hoc, or do you go to an agency to do that? Now, I think this is about fit for yourself, and obviously there's a huge range of agencies, from smaller agencies like ourselves to massive agencies, in what you're going to get out of their services. So if you it could be for flyering, for example. You work out that flyering is fantastic for your business, but you do not want to go and flyer a whole village. So you outsource that to a flyering agency and they go and do that job. Now, it's likely they won't do it quite as well as you did it, but you've saved time. You maybe were better use of that time doing your job and earning more money so you could flyer more. This might be, you might have learned pay-per-click advertising online. Now, this might be an area that actually an agency might be able to do it better than you ever did. So it might be worth going to an agency from day one for something like pay-per-click advertising that you have no knowledge of. Social media posting. I think, or we always argue with our clients, that you've got to keep a grip of your own social media posting and don't just give it to an agency, because an agency is never going to be as up to date, as linked into your business as you are, and you should value social enough that you want to do it because you think it's going to give value to your business, not just because somebody's told you you have to do it. So the real balance there is how much you do yourself. When you give it to a freelancer, how do you go about that? And I would suspect that if you don't have a great chunk of work, if your budget's maybe a couple of £100 a month, you're going to have to find a smaller agency like us or freelancers. If you're looking to spend £10,000 a month, you might come to an agency like ourselves, or you might hive off, well, I'm going to spend £2,000 on pay-per-click, I'm going to spend £3,000 on social posting, and I'm going to spend £5,000 on print advertising a month. And you might pick 3 different categories of where to send that work to. Now, you may have a freelancer that does the social posting for you. You may have an agency that sorts out your print advertising, and you might go about it that way. So it's a real mixed bag. We don't personally use a lot of freelancers, but I know a lot of business owners that do use a lot of freelancers. I find it quite hard not to have them close to my business and not understand, working regularly, which you may have with an agency that are speaking to you every week. A freelancer generally comes in and out, but it's what suits your business and what suits your budgets. So bags are different ways of doing it, but I would say that it's such an important part of your business that you do need to have some general understanding of what marketing strategies work best for you and take an interest in that while you're running your business. Cheers. Thank you for listening to the Morgan Branding Podcast. If you'd like to follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, our handles are at Morgan_branding, or you can follow myself, Callum Morgan, on the same platforms. Cheers.